going on, my people? SandCity Sports. Back again, back again. Let me just take a look here. Gotta get some things in order. Some things in order. Okay. As we do, need to be a little bit better with the organization. Get organized. My shot correct. Okay. Let's get things. It's good to be with you, folks. Got a lot to get into. As always, have to make sure that I'm where I need to be on the different platforms. Let's get this technical difficulties. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We good on the YouTube. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Facebook is coming. What's going on? What's going on? Let's check out the right. People are like, let's get to it. This guy, it always takes so long. And you're 100% right. It always takes so long to get to the doggone cut to the doggone chase. Okay. All of our platforms are where they need to be. What's going on? It's your boy, the Cape Cod Kid, artist formerly known as Andre King, back again to bring you all the sports and current events, news, information that you need to know. We done got everything set up. Listen, this Thursday night football game is concluding. Wanted to get with you as TNF was reaching its conclusion. Seattle Seahawks put up a good fight, gave up that bomb late, so they're not going to be able to get the ball back. Let's see what we got. 49ers went ahead and scored again to put the game out of reach. But shout out to the Seahawks. Didn't like the fact that Lockett got that touchdown. I needed DK Metcalf to get the touchdown. But at the same time, Seahawks, competitive, making a game out of it, so on and forth. But the 49ers, too much. The train keeps rolling, dealing with the injuries, dealing with McCaffrey. It's a good win for them. An expected win, but you got to go ahead and secure, finish the deal. And that's what the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan have done tonight. They got a little bit of cushion there. Seahawks, again, cut it to, 5-point game, 29-24. But they had to get a stop. And what does Kyle Shanahan schemes up a doopsie-doo over the top. Could have scored the touchdown easily, goes down. We're going to chew up some clock. That's, again, knowing the time and the score, good coaching. Get the touchdown and go ahead and secure the victory. So it's good. As much as I want to talk about the game, and we will, I give pretty much, you know what I mean. Seattle is a middling, proud franchise. Okay, since Pete Carroll left, they have been competitive. You know what I mean. They've been a team. Quarterback's name is slipping my mind right now. Okay, but we'll get that back. You know what I mean? They hang in there and they're gonna make it a ball game, and they're gonna beat some teams they shouldn't win. But at the end of the day, they're just another team. They're a Joe, or not a Joe, Jag, right? Jag, just a guy. They're that doesn't work. They're just a team. Okay, but what I respect about Seattle is they haven't gone full crater, full rebuild. The sky is falling. They're grinding. They're gonna battle. They're gonna make it difficult. Okay, in the NBA, team of that category, caliber, that doesn't tank and somehow always ends up in the NBA championship is the Miami Heat, right? Don't believe in just blowing it all up. Don't believe in tanking for draft picks. We have a culture. We have arguably the best coach in the league, arguably the best executive in the league, even though Pat Riley is getting long in the tooth. Okay, their system, their program gleans results, no matter if they're the 1 seed or the 8 seed. Are the Seattle Seahawks at that level? Absolutely not. Okay, but we're going to talk about the Patriots. And I think the Seahawks are a team where the Patriots should learn from. And, how this situation has gotten to the point Drake May's coming in and starting quarterback. I made it clear, and I'm not backing down off the point. I'm a Gerard Mayo guy. But there's water that's coming up into the ship. All right? There's things that's happening off the field, on the field, right? Where you're shooting yourself in the foot. So all the way back to Seattle, okay, post Pete Carroll, post Russell Wilson, post Legion of Boom years, all right. This, you know what I mean? They're in the mix. 49ers and the NFC, okay, are the standard bearers, right? In a weak conference, which the NFC compared to the AFC is, 49ers still have to be the odds-on favorite. They're not healthy. It's going to be, they might kind of jog to the NFC Championship game and possibly the Super Bowl this year, i.e. the Kansas City Chiefs. Two organizations with very strong institutional support. Right? But the 49ers are benefiting, again, in my mind, from the fact that they do play in the far weaker conference. If they were in the AFC with these injuries, with some of the inconsistencies that they've seen, they haven't been world beaters. Okay? They might be one of these teams, AFC. We're going to go pull up the standings for you now, right? There's going to be a lot of good teams that missed the playoffs in the AFC. A lot of good teams. Okay? A lot of 2 and 3 that I'm seeing. Jets, Dolphins, right? Some 1 and 4. Browns, Bengals, Joe Burrow. Playoffs not looking great. Okay, Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, number 1 overall pick. Quarterback of the future, space age quarterback, 1 and 4. Titans, nobody expected anything from them. Indianapolis Colts, right? Richardson, I like what I'm seeing. Chiefs are 5-0. They could be 2 and 3. All these close games. Like what I'm seeing from Denver, 3 and 2, seeing progress. Also like how Bo Nix screamed on Sean Payton. Right, and the Chargers 2 and 2 building. Raiders 2 and 3, not expecting much there. But that's over on the AFC side. Again, I feel NFC, you got some teams. Rams are 1 and 4. Seahawks, right? Are you kidding me? Did they already give them this L for this game? You have the Seattle Seahawks leading a division in the NFC. A team that all the things that I've just said, middling, blue collar, nothing special. They're leading the division in the NFC West. Okay? Falcons and Buccaneers, that game was bananas. Picked up Kirk Cousins as my quarterback going into that game because my 2 starting quarterbacks, Justin Herbert, who has the chains put on him by, I get the Harbaughs confused. Jim Harbaugh. Jim, I'm going to Google this real quick. And this, we're starting off on a, yeah. All right, I got to bring the energy up. This is a beautiful thing being with you right now. The energy is going to come up tonight, making that clear. Let's just go ahead as we like to do. Let me just see what we got going on. Come over here and see what's up. Okay, a couple people rocking with me. I appreciate that in the YouTube space. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate that. My other socials, we're building it up. Good. Comment. Let me know what the heck is going on. Good, bad, or indifferent. I'm loving it. You know what I'm saying? We coming to you late night. We got a long weekend that we going into, folks. We going into this long weekend. So even though it is a school night, or a work night, we doing what we doing. The passion project has to be. We can't let the wheels come off the vision, right? You have to make time for the things. We've discussed this. That fill you up, that burn, that add that fuel to the fire. This is and I'm bouncing all around. But folks, rock with me. I got my, you know what I'm saying? I got my head to make sure my back is right. Rock with me. What you seeing, folks? We got merch. Anybody want the SandCity Sports gear? Holla at your boy. It's 10 minutes that we into the Zoom. We getting moment. Holla at your boy. We got merch, baby. Shout out to my cousin, the flag man. All right, this shirt extra comfortable. All right, you know what I mean? Got that flex fit shirt, extra comfortable. I mean, I'm feeling good. Keep it icy white for as long as possible. Got to keep the beard away. You know what I mean? I got my oils in my beard, my goatee. Keep that away from the icy white. Keep it icy. You feel me, baby? You feel? Now, but come on, come. First of all, let me get this right. I tuck the rock in. My man, shout out to my man, Plenty Sneaks. Check him out, folks. Plenty Sneaks. He's on the IG. I don't know. He definitely on the IG. Believe he does the other social medias, but he's certainly on the IG, Facebook, TikTok, so on and forth. Check out your man, Plenty Sneaks, for all the sneakerheads out there that want to get their shoe game right. I'm not a huge sneakerhead, but you're out there. You don't have to show up at 2 o'clock in the morning at the local mall. Check out my man, Plenty Sneaks. He's going to get you right. Okay, but he just on the strength put this logo together for me. I appreciate that 1,000%. You know, we've done different things logo-wise, but this is the SandCity Sports right here. I'm up with it. This is the SandCity Sports right here. Okay. And so finally, you know what I mean? It's a long time coming. Put together some SandCity Sports shirts. I'm loving it. Fresh in terms of the good feel and all that stuff. But, you know, just baby steps. You know what I mean? Progress over perfection. So that's a beautiful thing. Okay. So yeah, we the 11-minute mark. People like, comment, subscribe. If you like this slice of life stuff, if you don't like the slice of life stuff, let me know how you feel. We coming at you late night because this is when the time is available. This is when we do the show. Period. End of story. You know what I mean? It's a busy time, but as I said, okay, you have to that passion. This is my passion. This is the love. I enjoy this. I'm about this. I had no background in technology, but I've always loved sports. I've always had opinions. Okay. And so, you know what I mean? I'm happy to be here. Your boy is happy to be here. Okay. It's late night. Maybe we do the prime time. Maybe we do the afternoon, depending on the weekends. But the late night after Thursday night football is when we come in. I'm thrilled just to be here. And shout out to the flag man for the shirts. Shout out to my man, Plenty Sneaks, for the design, saying this is big for us. However, this is big. SandCity Sports. You know what I mean? We got a little bit of swag, a little swagoo. So that's that's a beautiful thing. I said a lot. You know what I mean? Like I'm watching Donnie, but I said a beautiful thing. How many times have I said it? I've been talking for 12 minutes. I borrowed that, right? I got to make clear. I borrowed that from Donnie Brasco. Shout out. See, I know I'm dating myself, but shout out to Donnie Brasco. Okay, for the young kids coming up, you know, that want to show that they have savvy and understanding, right? When we was coming up, I'm not as young as you know, we watched Goodfellas, or, you know, you watch Raging Bull, or you watch, you know, Casino, you know what I mean? You watch those, you know, even though they were made in the 80s and you were too young to understand those films at the time, you know, you wanted to show, you listen to Bob Marley, you listen to Jimi Hendrix, you listen to the Beatles to show that you got a little savvy to you. Okay, so the folks, if you haven't seen Donnie Brasco, it might be in limbo somewhere. You can't go to Blockbuster and get it. Check it out. Al Pacino, Johnny Depp, ensemble cost. But you know that scene, Pacino and Johnny Depp. You know what I mean? When he's Johnny Depp playing the undercover agent, he's a jeweler. You know what I'm saying? He said, "You want to see a beautiful thing? This is a beautiful thing. It's beautiful." You know, and Lefty over here, played by Al Pacino. So now I'm gonna show you a beautiful thing, you know. And he says, and this is something else that I borrowed. Don't have any problem, you know, admitting it, but I use it in my Fugazi. That's how Fugazi came into the lexicon. Donnie Brasco, early 90s, I believe it was 97. That's how Fugazi came into the lexicon. All right, and so for me, I said this is a beautiful thing like 8 times. So we're gonna leave that to Donnie Brasco for for the time being, right? Bottom line, Niners are 2-3, which is bananas. Okay, in and of itself, in a division led by the Seattle Seahawks, Arizona Cardinals. Who knows what you're gonna get? Rams, you know, they'll be, you know, well coached. Okay, as I said, it's just wide open. It's the Wild West out there, and you know, as far as I'm concerned, I have no problem with the 49ers if being the representative. I also have to give love because I was born in the state of New Jersey. I have family in the city of brotherly love. I have family there. So the Eagles, that's always going to be tried and true, near and dear to my heart. No two ways about it. Okay? Put this on. Let me put the phone on. I can see it. I don't need to hear it. Okay? The Lions. That's the team. Eagles, okay, my heart got a Super Bowl. We're deprived of another Super Bowl based on the egregious, pathetic, embarrassing pass interference call in a Super Bowl, which was darn near one of the worst Super Bowl endings of all time. That flag should have been picked up. That game should have went to overtime. If the Chiefs win it in overtime, I have no problem to gift the Chiefs the championship. With that pass interference was one of the most egregious endings to a high level sports game I have ever seen in my life. That was a ticky tack yak call, and it just essentially ended a very competitive game. So my Eagles, they got that one Super Bowl. They could have doggone well got another one if Patrick Mahomes wasn't gifted something. He could have earned it in overtime. I have no problem. They went, as I recall, to overtime against the Niners. Okay, got it done. Respect. Went down the field and scored that touchdown in OT. Respect. Okay, that should have been what happened in that Chiefs Eagles game. Okay, but NFC, right? Niners, Eagles on the strength. I'd love to see the Detroit Lions get back. They had the Niners on the ropes. On the ropes. And they just let it go Greg Norman style in the second half. It was crazy. It was crazy to see. Unfortunate on a number of levels. And so I'd like to see the Lions get back into that position and execute. By the way, people were criticizing Dan Campbell and the results of that NFC Championship game. If you watch the game, you know what happened in the second half. Okay, they didn't believe. So Coach Prime talking about believe. The Lions did not believe that they were a Super Bowl team. They believed they were a competitive team. They didn't believe they were a Super Bowl team. How can you tell? How many drops in the second half? Had nothing to do with Dan Campbell them losing that game. They went for it on fourth down. They stayed aggressive. They executed. Guys just flat out dropped the ball. That's you can't. You know what I mean? That's just on. That's just that. You know what I mean? Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, right? When they talk about field goals and having the yips and the yaps and the matter of facts, that's what that comes down to. The Lions should, but they had the opportunities and they just pro players, dropped down to the elementary and middle school level with their efficiency. And that was what allowed attempt after attempt and the Niners to come back. Okay. I would love to see the Detroit Lions take the NFC by storm. Whoever, you know what I mean? The Eagles, is reports with the Eagles is they missing Kels. They're missing Kels. They're missing the leadership. There's and Sirianni, not having those vets to hold you down. Let's get it together. Let's get it right. Okay. But the Lions bringing folks back, paying the money to keep the offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, the guru on the offensive side of the ball, and Dan Campbell, he's just a dude. He's just a dude. I'm not a football player. I'm not a Viking. I can't be out there in the cold weather. We had a high school game tonight, which was a beautiful thing. And in Barnstable on a Thursday night, team came from out of state. You know what I mean? Starting to get a little cool out there. I could do one quarter. I came for one quarter, but then I had to retreat. I ain't about that cold life. All right, Dan Campbell just looks like he, Lambeau Field in mid-January, no shirt, just getting it. You don't want to do that. People do that the wildness, but just because of football in these cold weather stadiums and wearing T-shirts and all that other madness. I'm in my thermal socks, multiple layers. I can't do the cold weather. But Dan Campbell, his vibe, it goes beyond culture, it goes beyond class. That's a leader. That's somebody I want to play for. I want to play for that guy. I want to be a part of what he has going on. Okay. And Detroit went through a number of terrible coaches. Should have never gotten rid of Jim Caldwell back in the day. Store that away for later. Okay, because that shouldn't be. But after making that mistake, they certainly got it 1,000% right as far as I'm concerned with Dan Campbell. And in the NFC, I would love to see the Lions. Let me come over here. I gotta get some things organized, right? I should have done these things. I gotta get a couple production things, right? Do I have? Hold on. Boop. Okay, yeah. Good. Just some production things. Then just get okay. Now we okay. Bop. Everything is good. Everything is good. Just dry my hands off. Make sure getting to be cold season. Hands are clean. You know what I mean. Alrighty. And we rocking with you. Okay. First 20 minutes of the show, middling. Good. But technical wise, I'm you know what I mean. But we going. Let's see what's up. Let's see what's going on. I'm still rocking with you. I'm still rocking in the YouTube. Let me just check on folks. See how people. Okay. And I know how to check the chat now over here. See what's going on. My connections, all my connections are good, but I just need to check in with people. Okay, let's get back to the business proper. I know that I can see if and when there are chats. Let me go over this. Okay, folks, we talked about the NFL. Now we got a lot going on in the world of sports. Okay, we're going to get the WNBA. Yes, indeed. We're going to get a major retirement. Yes, indeed. We are going to get the NBA. Okay, preseason. Yes. My New York Knicks. Yes. Teams all over the globe. Okay. Celtics in the Middle East. Teams just all over the world. Just to build that global brand. Tremendous. Before we leave the NFL, it's been a couple of days nonetheless. The situation with the New York Jets and Robert Saleh being sent to the gallows, to the guillotine, out to pasture. Too much, yes. The proof's going to be in the pudding. But Robert Saleh was a capable coach, and because he coached a first ballot Hall of Famer and first ballot diva in Aaron Rodgers, he was let go. Now, and just for what I've heard, and if anybody, if the Jets have a reasonable line, I would take it coming into this week and maybe even also next week, because there's going to be a bump, right? When there's something new now, and we have, okay, that guy was the problem, but now we're on to the yellow brick road and everything is going to be gravy. Jets take it, they're going to play well these next 2 weeks, and they got a game against Buffalo. Okay, might not get that dub. The Buffalo's tried and true, especially if they come back and they got their whole team healthy, particularly on the defensive side of the ball, right? I mean, you know what I mean. Then they're going to be right there. Excuse me, get the line of thinking, right? They're going to get a bump, but Robert Saleh, defensive side of the ball, defense had been and was continuing to play well, right? And he's a coach. You have to hold people accountable. Bottom line, end of the day, I just think it's going to be a disaster. I think it was a desperate move. Okay, you made a statement. And where I can side with management to a certain extent on this was, the reporting is Robert Saleh wanted to take play calling duty away from Nathaniel Hackett, who really doesn't have play calling duty in the first place. Aaron Rodgers runs the show on offense, point, period, end of story. And he's doing it the Aaron Rodgers way. Okay, just a lot of hijinks and attention about things that have nothing to do with them being an offensive juggernaut. his issue with receivers, all of the snark and the subtleties, just classic Aaron Rodgers. So the reporting is that Robert Saleh was, and the offense has not, been effective. Stuck in their ways, not using things, pre-snap motion, so on and forth, and predictable, right? And so Robert Saleh, being, the reporting is he said, no, I'm taking play calling duty away from Nathaniel Hackett, meaning essentially I'm taking play calling duty away from Aaron Rodgers. And we're going to try to have a more balanced approach. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back, and the man was just, you're out of here. Like that. Because he essentially stood up to Aaron Rodgers. Okay. Again, I said I don't agree with it, and I don't. At the same time, if Rodgers is Woody Hayes' man, Woody Hayes was the coach at Ohio State, if I'm not mistaken. Got to get my names right. He's the coach. Jets owner. Woody Johnson. Okay, let's get that right. You know what I mean? What I will say in his defense, like Robert Saleh, I get, and you want to stand, and this is, you're gonna coach my way, and I'm gonna gotta put my foot down, and all the rhetoric and kind of so on and forth. If the owner has made it explicitly clear the way it's gonna be, then Robert Saleh could have just left well enough alone, right? Offense might have continued to sputter, but just handle the defense. Defense, and the offense, you know what I mean? It might have gotten, but just trust. Just trust. Robert Saleh might have been of the opinion, okay, so I'm going to trust. Defense is going to be holding it down. Offense is going to continue to be a train wreck and disaster because they refuse to innovate and are living in the past. We've seen it before. We've seen special teams coaches and defensive coaches given command of an offense. We know how that went, right? So if you are of this stature, Aaron Rodgers is of exceedingly high stature. Bill Belichick of exceedingly high stature. So even though when they do things that are just wacky, nobody would have ever allowed another coach to put somebody who had never, two people that had never coached offense in charge of the offense. You have to be the greatest of all time to allow that to slide, and people say, well, it might work. Anybody else would have been laughed out of the building and fired, if not immediately early on. You're Joe Schmo. You come up with this innovative, change the wheel, change the dialogue, narrative, whatever you want to say, approach. We'll give you a game, 2 games, 3 games, gone. How many coaches have the Carolina Panthers gone through since they got rid of Steve Wilkes, who had the team moving in the right direction? All right? So that's my corollary comp for this Aaron Rodgers offensive experiment with the Jets. Nathaniel Hackett has never been a good coach. Head coach. Offensive coordinator, maybe, with the Packers. But he was no Matt LaFleur. He's just somebody that kowtowed to Aaron Rodgers. And that's what you're seeing him produce currently with Aaron Rodgers. Only reason he was brought to the Jets was to appease Aaron Rodgers. Okay? But the offense hasn't gone anywhere. Beyond the, okay, they're gone and they were the problem bump, I don't see the offense going anywhere in the future. Back to Robert Saleh, he could have just waited out the storm, and shown the people that he was a good coach just based on how well that defense played throughout the course of the season, and through that kept his job or secured another job, right? If the Jets go 5-12, whatever bad record they could or will have with the dysfunction, but Robert Saleh's side of the ball and just his patience and calm and ability to get guys to continue to play all the way back to Dan Campbell. We're not losing. We're learning how to win. Robert Saleh does that rather than putting his foot down, his size 5 foot down, and Woody Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal size 20, being the owner, right? So as much as, I believe that Robert Saleh is a good coach, maybe he goes back to being a DC. You look at what Brian Flores is doing. Okay, after his situation being run up out of Miami before he's given a full opportunity. But Miami made the right decision because Mike McDaniels is there. And yeah, Mike McDaniels has had his issues, kind of so on and forth, and now huge issues because you didn't, you paid to all that money and didn't think that to, give a backup quarterback, a Gardner Minshew type, a couple dollars. That I cannot, these teams that have no backup plan for quarterback, whereas the San Francisco 49ers, whose offense is copied by half the league, how does Kyle Shanahan have 3 quarterbacks? He's got Garoppolo, he's got Purdy, and he's got Trey Lance. Or he's got Trey Lance. Garoppolo's been up out of there. He's got Purdy, and then he's got Darnold. Right? And they gave up all this stuff for Trey Lance. He's not the guy. Out. Back up Dak. Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. It's working, but we're not sure just because, you know what I mean? The last overall pick, the last overall pick in the NFL draft. We're going to give you the keys to the kingdom. I don't know. I just, bridge too far for a lot of people. But we're going to have Sam Darnold behind that just in case. How can the 49ers, a team, right, whose offense is like that, have a backup? But time and again, Jets last year, no doggone backup. Dolphins, they got to bring a guy from Baltimore, you know what I mean? Bring him back. Guess he has roots in Florida and save us. So Mike McDaniels, as much as I like the fact that he rocking that bling, much better than this bling, and he's on the sidelines with the glasses, and his offense, came out there gangbusters, scored 70 points on the Denver Broncos. As much as I want to like and do like Mike McDaniels, you know what I mean? The Miami Dolphins are headed right out of the playoffs this year, and that just complicates everything. Okay, because Miami Dolphins, you lose Tua, so how can you got all these just fierce weapons? Waddle, Tyreek Hill, believe they still, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna make any guess, but their offense, they have skilled players, but you don't have that individual to stir that drink. With a quarterback who's injury prone, I just can't get over that. Okay. Notwithstanding, talked about Detroit, gave you perspective late, but let me get the mind right. And this guy, let's get back on what I'm getting onto. My New England Patriots. Okay, I've given you Miami. And I connected Miami with coaching carousel, right, that we saw in Carolina. I'm getting the train of thought. Okay, and this coaching carousel in Carolina, going from this guy to that guy, not having time to kind of do what you do and have your vision take hold. The insanity and the wildness of a Bill Belichick saying, we're going to do, and people kind of giving it a pass. Right? But at the same time, you cannot, and this guy's bouncing. I connected Bill Belichick with, and it escapes my mind. So we're gonna have to come back to that. It will come back to me. If it looks wrong, you know what I mean? And even though somebody is saying it, wise individual, at the end of the day, oh yeah, okay, now we're going to come back to it. Now it's come back to me, right? How we got all the way to, all right, it's gotten back to me with these gurus. That's the connection, and how that got all the way to Mike McDaniels. It was from the standpoint of these guys. Mike McDaniels is an offensive mind, and he's been given weapons, and he got the best out of Tua, and he completely changed that narrative. Yes, coming back to me, the connections that I was making. Okay, sorry that this guy. All right, put that in the, anybody that is watching, anybody that is rocking with me, you can put that in this rambling, bambling Okay, we doing what we can. We're doing what we can. And I can't. I don't know what I don't know where the refresh button is on the my YouTube. It just has me go back to premium, and I can't get back to just to check. But honestly, the YouTube is good. I don't necessarily have to be watching myself while it's going on. I can just make sure that it's live because all of that information, who the heck is just tuned in on the YouTube, I can see on my Riverside studio. I just have to understand how to use the Riverside studio, which is crispy. The shot is crispy. The computer's fully charged. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing right now. All right, let's go back because I remember the connection, and then we got a lot to get to. And I'm starting to get warm. I'm going, you know what I mean? But I'm starting to get warm now in terms of what we talking about. Okay. Pride goeth before. Pride goeth before. Okay. Mike McDaniels, respect, support. You should have had a backup. No doggone excuse. There's just no excuse. Whether it's a college kid, you should have had somebody that could come in, you know what I mean? And rather than just stealing somebody from the Ravens who just has a Florida connection and just throwing him into the mix when you have Mercedes, you have Rolls Royce level weapons. That's on you, Mike. That's on you. Bill Belichick, we know that. And it's interesting, right? We're gonna make a connection because it's interesting that I'm talking about Bill Belichick and the craziness that he perpetrated with not keeping it in house and trusting only his guys and the disastrous seasons that ensued after the Tom Brady retirement. Okay, and he's now after being out of football, he needs to get back to football immediately. You can see, with Bill Belichick and all this TMZ stuff that we got going on, and I don't really care. You people, consenting adults, all that stuff, fine. But yeah, I'm talking about Bill Belichick, and he's on doing all these different media. He has a lot more personality than people gave him credit for. Right? There's a character that you have to assume in coaching and in leadership, and we're seeing a different side of his personality. Wonderful. I thought the same was true when Bob Knight did media and broadcasting. Completely different side of his personality, and just understanding. It's like these guys have forgotten more about something than we'll ever know in 10 lifetimes. It's just listening to them talk is it's enlightening, frankly. But you can see his humanity now that he is not the grand old man coaching and the head of a dynasty, and you see how much we need that structure, we need that support, we need that, and you can be a great, you're almost mythological within a strong institution, and then when you come out of that institution, it's just a lot that you yourself have to deal with. And with Bill Belichick, again, he needs to get back to football. And I need to see less of him on TMZ, because it's unbecoming for arguably the greatest football coach of all time. What does he have to do now? It's looking like he could be the next coach of the New York Jets. And I would rock with that. Bring in Belichick. Let's have it go back to where it all started. All right? And maybe, right, that was somewhat a part of Robert Saleh getting the axe at a time when he really didn't deserve the axe. Now they have this interim tag. Maybe Bill Belichick will come in as like a special consultant or whatever. I just don't know where the Jets are going with it from here. Looks like it's going to implode. Okay, and right, this giving everything over to Aaron Rodgers. It's maybe Woody Johnson was, Saleh tested you, so you asked him, but now is this other, who less, gonna, they say the devil the devil you don't know. I'm not saying anybody's a devil. I'm just saying, the person the person you don't know. I mean, Aaron Rodgers saying, okay, now it's essentially yours and you lead the ship. Yeah, the jury is still out. I do not know. Okay, been 40 minutes. We're coming up on midnight. It is what it is. We're going for at least another half an hour because we got a lot to get to. Okay, New England Patriots. I wanted to say can't claim the Patriots. Okay, being born in New Jersey, I told you my sports fandom across the board. And if you've been rocking with Sand City, you know that I'm strong on Gerard, Gerard Mayo, strong, but and how they started, getting that first win against the Bengals, and then super close against a Seattle team, and right, some wins that they left out of there. Now 1-4, right? And it's not just that you lose, it's how you lose. Okay? Not just that you lose, it's how you lose. Okay? Jets, nothing. Niners, nothing. Offensively, Dolphins, okay. They're without, you're without, and you lose a close one. But players having issues off the field, talk about, they're going to Drake May too early, which they are. They are. Patrick Mahomes wasn't ready in year one. Tom Brady wasn't yet ready in year one. Everybody's not Jaden Daniels. Okay. Jacoby should have stayed, and been there. If Alex Van Pelt can get the most out of Joe Flacco to get them to the playoffs, he should have been able to get more out of Jacoby Brissett rather than have to cut ties, 5 games into the season. So now is the time for the Patriots and for Gerard Mayo, contain this struggle. Contain it. And again, not looking for the Patriots to win a ton of games, but I'm looking for them to be competitive. I'm looking for them to be together. All right? And those are the things that are at issue right now. I'm staying Team Mayo, but let's take a look. They're in the Superior Conference. So Texans, but then the Jaguars and the Jets and the Titans and the Bears and the Rams and then the Dolphins again. So winnable games against teams that are, Dolphins at a crossroad. Texans ascending, even though the Nico was balling for me. It's late, but I've been suspect on my names and getting things right, which is ridiculous. Okay, so I apologize. Okay, my man is on the injury reserve. Hines. Where did I get Hines from? Nico Collins. Okay, who is this guy? Trying to have a podcast. Can't even remember names. Can't even talk straight. Ridiculous. But the Texans are no joke, having to deal with the injuries. But Jaguars, Jets, Titans, Bears, Rams, Dolphins again, Colts, Cardinals, and then the Bills. They got like 6 or 7 winnable competitive games against teams that are in similar places to them before they have to play a team that's showed that they are about that life. Business. The Bills. In a few weeks. So I'm looking for the Patriots. Okay. Essentially, hold on. We're going to do this. Titans coming up on Sunday. They got Jaguars 1, Jets 2, Titans 3, Bears 4, Rams 5, Dolphins 6, Colts 7, Cardinals 8. They have 8 games straight against teams. Sure, a little bit, but that should be competitive. 8 straight games that should be competitive. Texans, mollywop them. Even without, other guys stepping up. This is the team that's trending. D'Amico Ryan, they're trending in the right direction. Found their quarterback, C.J. Stroud. Brought in Stephon Diggs, who's balling. They're trending. Okay, Collins having him, right? So just beat the Patriots down. But then after that, 8 straight weeks of teams in similar places, middling to lottery. The Patriots should be even with or better, as far as I'm concerned. Gerard Mayo, support. I need you to go out there and do what you do. See, that's crazy that I said do what you do. I'm showing favors because what does he do? He's been there for like two seconds. What does he actually do? Okay, so that statement is, I just need you, Gerard Mayo, to stand strong during this time. That's what I need. Stand strong. Okay, during this time. All right, folks, shifting gears over to the NBA. you know what time it is, okay? My New York Knicks, folks. My New York Knicks, it's just a preseason, but they're coming out, right? Scoring the ball. 117, 113. Oh, it's just a pre. Okay, fine. I know that. But uh, this is the championship team. And before I even get into why the Knicks are going to win the NBA championship this year, as a boss, I'm not a Bostonian, somebody from the Commonwealth that believes in the Celtics dynasty, right? That pains me to a certain extent because I love this Celtics team. I'm not a tried and true diehard Celtics fan. I'm not going there with you. I'm not pretending. Okay, but as a basketball, basketball has been, fortunately, in my life for a long time, been a tremendous blessing, opportunity, so on and forth. This Celtics, I love this Celtics team. Shout out to Brad Stevens and how Drew Holiday is my guy. Always been a huge fan of Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is how he plays the game, consummate point guard, winner, leader, Hall of Famer, playing the right way, always making winning plays. Shout out to what happened against Indiana. Shout out to what happened in the NBA Finals, pickpocketing Devin Booker in pivotal Game 5. He's just always, you know what I mean? Good dude, community service, solid teammate, you know what I mean? These people that are just so successful, talked about it. Adam Sandler, talk about it again. I have no problem showing up to the basketball court. He always would. Shout out to my SandCity gear. Appreciate, respect. You know what I mean? Shout out. Flag man, my man, Plenty Sneaks. Shout out to my people, SandCity gear. Adam Sandler is steady always and just continually showing up to play pickup in polo shirt and basketball shorts. Google it up. It's crazy. Weather's getting a little cooler, so he's got to do this out in California or wherever he has his multiple homes. He shows up with like a polo collar, like go out to a fancy restaurant shirt and baggy basketball shorts. And it's just out there hooping with people, high-fiving people like, what's good? Come get some of this. Come get some of the hezzy. Come get some of this. That's how Adam Sandler gets down, right? Multiple reports. And he has a house, he might have sold it, might not, he has a Cape connection like a lot of wealthy people. Got a Cape connection. Multiple reports of him going to the restaurant and just paying for everybody's dinner and hooking their waitresses up with like $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8,000. Just come get this good bread, man. Everybody's dinner, it's on my tab. Waitress, come get that stack. Okay? Come get a band. Right? Adam Sandler is one of, he's just super successful in just his humanity and intelligence. And like, you know what I mean? It's just growing with his success from all the reports. Now, this world that we're living in and people, exposés and people that you thought was one way is another. It is what it is. If we see it different, then it's going to be different. But as far as, Adam Sandler is just a great dude. And that's what Drew Holiday is. He's a great dude. You know who's also a great dude? Derek White. How this team was built. And by the way, Drew Holiday, 6'5" and sturdy, muscular, sturdy, can guard 1, 2, 3, 4 and give the center. Yeah, he can guard a 5, give him some work. 5's going to score, but Drew Holiday going to make that man work. And Derek White has the same pedigree at 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". This backcourt is the new look, new generation. Dennis Johnson and Danny Ainge for those great all-time 86, 84, right? Celtics teams. 81. How this team was built by Brad Stevens. Obviously, we have the Jays. I would have liked to have seen, spread the wealth. Jaylen Brown's my man. Jaylen Brown is my man. 1,000 grand. Okay, what he does in the community, advocating for social justice, advocating for education, man of conscience, NBA Players Association executive, or administrator, high-level administrator. Oh, I love Jaylen Brown. I would like to have seen Tatum get the Finals MVP just to spread the wealth. Jay got that, spread the wealth. Then obviously it was wild him not being on the Olympic team. Not going to go too deep down. I've already talked about that. But the Jays, faces of the NBA MVP conversation. Kristaps Porzingis, who's a completely different person since he left New York and Dallas. He balled for Washington in 23. Right, Brad Stevens went ahead and brought him in. defends, rebounds, hit the three. We're going to rest him. Still have Al might have went off into the sunset. Okay. But we got, you know what I mean? Celtics, just how they're constructed, what they're capable of doing. All that being said, my New York Knicks are winning the championship this year. This year. As the team, you know, Tibbs have been there, and as we've been building up this culture, and to the point where now a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon, that's fine. I jumped back to the Knicks, okay, more so because my coach, Tom Thibodeau, my favorite coach, okay, when he was with the Celtics, won the championship in 2008, should have never, him and Van Gundy should have stayed in Houston. They made the move. I could disagree with it. Rick Adelman came into Houston after Van Gundy and got them, you know, there was success, winning, made a couple Western Conference Finals. Yao Ming could have been, you know, was never healthy. I get all that. I'm a Jeff Van Gundy guy. Brad Stevens went ahead and got Tom Thibodeau from that 2007 Houston Rockets team, brought him to Boston. Celtics won the championship in 2008. Kevin Garnett was Defensive Player of the Year in 2008. You know what time it is. Goes on to Chicago, turns Derrick Rose into an MVP, gets him in the conference finals. The jury now can be satisfied. Derrick Rose has always had knee problems. People have been blaming, slandering Tibbs for years. Left Chicago, went to Minnesota, the Timberwolves, okay. Now he's in New York, has built it up. Team Tibbs all day, every day. And what? And what? Bottom line fact of the matter is this. First of all, some serious talent, but as the Knicks, you know, Julius Randle came up under the leadership, all-star. Hope that continues. It's West is tough, but I hope that continues because that wasn't the case before Tibbs. Store that away, for later, for now, forever. Wasn't an all-star even in that, thinking about it before Tibbs. Yes. Okay, as it's being built up, we do the Nova connection. We pass up on all the stars. They were saying bring Kyrie to New York, bring Kevin Durant to New York. No, we going with tried and true. Heart of the city. That's Jalen Brunson. How's that turned out? People were slandering, laughing. Okay, a guy that we can depend on, rely on, and come up under Tibbs' leadership. What Tibbs has always been able to do with point guards. What he's always been able to do with point guards. So we got Jalen Brunson, the ball player, and to set the culture, along with Tom Thibodeau. We bring in the Nova connection. It hurts my heart that Ragu had to be, DiVincenzo had to be lost to get Cat. I'm sorry. It hurts my heart. Trade McBride. Trade, Grimes. I wanted to keep the Nova connection full. Hurts my heart that Dante DiVincenzo had to go in the Cat trade. Hurts my heart. Notwithstanding, and DiVincenzo, he's been a starter with the Milwaukee Bucks team that won the championship. He was, even though I think he was injured for that run, but he was a huge part of that team. So he's been through it. He's gonna, he's a dude. He's a dude. Okay, but Tyler Kolek, pride of Rhode Island and St. George's and the Middlesex Magic, already showing signs that he's gonna be stepping in, backup role, have Deuce McBride. The point is, the Knicks have a bench. Hurts with DiVincenzo, Nova connection. So now we keep the three Nova. We had the Fantastic Four, but now we have the three Musketeers with Brunson, with Mikal Bridges, and Josh Hart, all of whom who have been starting, right? This team's just going to play the right way, all the way, every day. They're going to be able to rest guys. We know OG's not playing more than 65 games. Cat not playing more than 70 games. Going to rest guys. Brunson not playing more than 70 games. Guys going to get rest. We got a bench. We got Landry Shamet, bucket, campaign, buckets. Okay, this team is loaded. This team is loaded. Been 50 years. Knicks are getting the championship. Knicks are getting the Now we're gonna go back and forth. I'm not coming up off that tape, but this is the year. Obviously, it's got to be health. You got to have health. Okay. Woo! Western Conference. Okay, you got, in the East, we're not going to sleep on nobody. Sixers, bringing in Paul George, Daryl Morey system. I get all that. Okay, Embiid, resting him. I get all that. Sixers are going to be much improved. Okay, Milwaukee, don't believe in them. Don't believe, they got the wrong coach. They got the wrong players. They got the wrong superstars. Don't believe in them. I said it. They should have left well enough alone. They panicked. They got angry. They got anxious. They got rid of Drew. Huge mistake. Not only did they get rid of Drew, we went to the Celtics, so even more calamitous. The Dame was wanting to be on the South Beach. He's in the frozen north in Milwaukee. Doesn't want to be there, period. I don't care how much Giannis, who's also from a beautiful Mediterranean region, but he's in freezing cold Milwaukee. Dame doesn't want to be there. Doc's a retread who should be in the coach's booth. Who should be in the broadcaster's booth. Can Doc structure a team, organize a team, get through the guys? Yes, yes, yes. Is he a winning coach in the playoffs? We all know the answer is no. And he's not the coach of the future. I don't believe in Milwaukee. I do believe in Indiana. I do believe in Rick Carlisle. I do believe in Matherin and Halliburton and TJ McConnell. None of these teams are getting past Boston or New York. Watch out for Cleveland. Kenny Atkinson knows his business. Okay? But Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell haven't talked since 2021. Not sure if that's true. I made that up, but you know what I'm talking about. So Cleveland, talented, great coach on paper, but that's on, these things, they got Garland has to find a new home. And it's going to be a Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley team. Fine. Okay, folks. Western Conference, we'll get there. We're gonna do, I don't know, about an hour and a half. Now we're gonna do a little bit more. I gotta get the rest. We're gonna, but a lot of things coming. Sand City, can't let the beer get too close to my icy white. Can't let it get too close to my icy white. A couple of the things that we're gonna have to discuss. Yes, first, one of the all-time great athletes. I said that. Rafael Nadal, 22 majors, second only to Djokovic, who has 2 more, is retiring, at the end of this year. That means he's not. I hope he comes back for the Australian Open in early January. Doesn't look like that's in the mix. And, Rafa, I rock with Rafa. You talk about the big 3, Federer, Nadal, Djokovic. 3 winningest tennis players of all time, all at their peak at the same time. Federer and Nadal were battling at the top of that mountain. And then Djokovic, was right there as a young buck and, made some finals. And then Djokovic just took it to another level after having gotten those beatdowns, when he was that aspiring player and he was the number 1 player and Rafa was 2 and then, Federer was 3 or whatever. His absolute dominance at the French Open at one point in time, his record was like 123-1. He won it however many years in a row to get those 22 majors. Just absolute, could not be beaten at the French Open. And just played an athletic brand of tennis. He's just an athlete. The spin on his shots, could come to the net, could hit from the baseline. Just a dynamo. So that big 3, it looks like the Djokovic, going into 2025 is going to be the only one that's still balling and out there. But shout out to just a great. That court at the French Open might need to be renamed, even though he's from Spain and not France. Just his dominance at that venue. Remarkable, folks. Remarkable. Okay. Couple more things we got to get to. WNBA, folks. I hope you watch the game tonight. All right. The Yukon Huskies out there. Collier, Stewart. Getting down for the DJ crown. First and foremost, if you like basketball, then you like the WNBA. Basketball fans support, respect the WNBA. Because it's great basketball. Late, great David Stern. We always go over this. We're going to continue to go over it. The WNBA is where it's at. That's just number 1. There'll be no slander tolerated ever in my presence for the WNBA. This goes back to 1997. Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Swoops, Tina Thompson, Lisa Leslie. Yeah. When David Stern finally realized the vision to have this league so that the greatness of the Cheryl Millers of the world, who we never got a chance to see because the WNBA wasn't there, will get to be seen. Okay, talk about I don't call myself a basketball coach. I call myself a leader who happens to coach basketball. Shout out to Coach K. David Stern in that same capacity, how he led the NBA and just basketball. You know what I mean? I was loving the WNBA back then, have basketball in the summer, support our tremendous, outstanding women, and even more firmly now. So that's the first thing. The second thing, woo, Minnesota came in and stole one. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Respect. Stole one tonight because this is the Liberties year. This is the Liberties year as far as I'm concerned. They had the backyard, barnyard brawl last year with the Aces all in a positive way. That game 5 last year in New York was crazy. Was crazy. I believe I'm almost positive that it was in New York. I'm almost positive that it was in New York and not in the Thursday Night Football crew is still going. They're still going. Shout out to Tony Gonzalez. And we still going for a little while longer. As I was saying, in terms of the respect for the WNBA. Just out of this world. Aja Wilson. Okay. All-time greatness that we're seeing. But this year, it's the Liberties year. They've been the best team from start to finish. Gave away game 1. Shout out to the Lynx. But you know what I mean? Down almost 20, 18 points. Storm back, got the W. It is what it is. But New York, you've been waiting all year to be here. You've been waiting all year to be here. So be here. Okay? And I think they're going to come back, and I think they're going to respond and, spread the wealth, baby. Spread that wealth. Let's bring this first basketball championship to the Mecca now, because we're going to be bringing another. We're going to check the receipts. We're going to be bringing another, and it hurts my heart to say this to a certain extent, but it doesn't hurt my heart because we're spreading the wealth, folks. Knicks win this year, doesn't do anything. The Celtics window and dynasty can still roll on, but this is the Knicks year. Bringing that championship back to the Garden. Been 50 years. Knicks, baby. Knicks, baby. But before we can get to that, Liberty, Lynx, check it out, folks. It's going to be a great series. As a culmination of a great season for a great league. And with that being said, does the WNBA now have charter flights? Yes. Caitlin Clark, phenomenon all day, every day. Angel Reese, awesome as well. All right. Love the fact that WNBA is going to a 7-game series for their finals next year. Love that. Yes, sir. Finals, 7 games, baby. Okay, 7. Because there's the talent, there's the interest for all of that. So it's going to be a beautiful thing. Okay, folks, let me just go around. Let me make sure anybody saying any, you know what I mean? Please like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you from the bottom of my heart rocking with me. Okay, SandCity Sports, we doing it. Got my huge episode. We got merch. It's a beautiful thing, my people. Okay, and we're gonna keep doing what we're doing, and building and growing and making this thing the best that we can that it can be. Okay, a filmmaker is a person that makes films. If you have a passion, go out there and do it. Try it. Okay, not that I'm a filmmaker. This is just a YouTube channel, podcast type deal, but you know what I'm saying. All right, and that's all I have for you tonight, folks. We'll see you next time. Peace.